Hello, and welcome to Conversations. I'm Robin Torres, your host, and our guests today are Marilyn Alstrom, Executive Director, and Sally Danoff, past chairperson and program administrator for 2020 Leadership here in Kansas City. 2020 Leadership is a bi-state youth educational leadership development program providing a continuum for juniors and seniors in high schools and also alumni who have completed the program. Their vision to develop leaders for a lifetime involves educating and exposing students to community issues, teach leadership skills, and build community-wide relationships. Welcome and thank you for being with us, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great to be here.
I want to ask, how did the program get started? Can you give us a little of the history, how and when it started?
Sure, I'd love to do that. We began in 1993. It was a class project of an adult leadership program, and several classmates said, why are we not doing a program like this for teenagers? And so in 93, we started with the 9 high schools in Wyandotte County, and at that time there were only 4 students that we selected because of the size of the budget, which was $3,000 per year.
Wow. So what was the process of selecting the schools that participate in the program?
Well, in 1993 we started because, and we wanted to involve the entire Wyandotte County community. In 1993 the community was very, very different than what we see today. We had a high dropout rate, we had high pregnancy, high unemployment, and so those were the reasons why we felt that we needed to engage teenagers in the process of taking a leadership role within Wyandotte County.
Okay, and did you just contact the superintendent of the schools and go to the principals and explain the program to them? And
we went to Ray Daniels, we went to Bonner Springs, we went to Piper, we went to Bishop Ward, we went to Turner to talk with them, and Ray Daniels and Dr. Ray Daniels from Kansas City, Kansas, and then also Dr. Gerald Polofsky from Turner High Schools. They were the main supporters in 1993, and they continue to serve on our board of directors and advisory board, and they have been a constant factor in the growth and development of the program.
Wow. Now, what about the process of selecting students who participate in the program?
Now we're in over 20 high schools, and we have at least 200 to 300 students participating every year. And so what we do is we start with the schools, the districts that are participating. We kind of work with the districts and the superintendent first of all, and then we work with the school principals and then the school counselors or some kind of contact at each school. And we ask them to help select the students that participate in our program.
Wow. Now, which schools in Kansas and Missouri? I know you mentioned a couple of the schools in Kansas. Now, which ones in Missouri?
We've been working with Lincoln Academy, Paseo, Northeast, Central,
University Academy, Hickman Mills. Now that Hickman Mills and Ruskin are combined in one, it's challenging because the students are excited about being one today. And then Independence, Van Horn, William Chrisman, and Truman.
Okay. What is the average number of students that are participating from each school?
We asked the schools to sponsor 7 students, and then 2020 Leadership sponsors 7. So the largest number that we have today, because of the merging of Hickman Mills and Ruskin, we have 23 students from that school this year.
Okay. Now let's talk about the program itself. This year I attended your orientation session at the end of the session where you guys invited the parents and students to sit there together, where I witnessed some wonderful alumni stories, and they were wonderful, and of course you guys spoke. But tell us about that day's activities that were going on, because you were there all day?
All afternoon.
Okay.
And we're there to help the students get to know each other first of all. A major part of our program is bringing students together from all over the metro area. all different counties and different schools and school districts, and it's kind of the start of networking for them. And so we bring them together and have activities and icebreakers and fun things for them to get to know each other and get to start to break down those barriers of the county and the schools. And then we kind of start talking about who they are as a person, kind of thinking about building their self-esteem, their confidence in who they are, so that they can later go out in the world and really make some great things happen. And then we bring the parents in at the end of that afternoon and talk to the parents about what we're going to be doing this year with their students and ask for the parents' support. And we also have alumni speak to the students all day, throughout the day. We had alumni helping us with the session, and then we had a panel of alumni speaking about what the program meant for them, where they are in life today, and kind of giving some advice to the students as well.
Okay, so this is a unique program on so many levels. Can you, you already talked about the coming together and meeting each other. What other unique features are intertwined in this program?
Well, Robin, we talked about diversity, and that's a key piece on this part, because 50 miles separates William Chrisman from Bonner Springs. But when we talk about diversity, we're not talking about just racial. We're talking about social, academic, economic, geographic diversity, and etiquette. You would be surprised at the students that really don't have a good handle on etiquette. Personal choice and personal development are key pieces of our program at the very beginning sessions, because many students feel very uncomfortable getting out of the classroom, and that's our job, is to break down those barriers and make them comfortable so that learning can actually begin.
Wow. Okay, you have a junior and a senior program, and they meet at separate times. Tell us a little bit about the junior program, and then we'll go into the senior program.
Yeah, the junior program is a 10-month program, and so it goes from August to May of their junior year in high school. And so each month we do some kind of program and or field trip. Sometimes it's all together, but most often we break them up into smaller groups so that we can really work with them on an individual basis as much as possible. The senior program is 5 months long, because we know that seniors are really, really busy, especially as their senior year starts to draw to a close. They just get super busy. So we kind of get in and out of their lives as quickly as possible, and that program lasts from August to December.
Okay. Now they've visited some interesting places in the past. Are these things going to continue? And well,
Definitely.
Let's see what they were. What kind of places did you visit?
Yeah, in the beginning of the junior program, we take our juniors to Hidden Creek Adventure Course, which we just did day before yesterday, and then last week we actually had a rain day, so we did some fun activities at James Davis Hall in Wyandotte County Lake. But those days are meant to help the students again come together and kind of think about working as a team, thinking about what they can add to that team, and who are the leaders and who are the ones that maybe need to step out of their box a little bit to learn how to lead. Later on in the fall, we'll take them to a prison, a detention center actually, and they'll learn about personal choice, and we'll talk to a panel of prisoners about what they did to get them in the spot where they are today. We take them to a detox center, and they learn more about personal choice. And then as the year progresses, we learn about real professional conduct and the professional lives that waits for students after they graduate. And so we have a college day where we meet with colleges, and they talk about what it's going to take to go to college financially, academically. And then the business day is talking with over 20 businesses, and they have mock interviews, and they talk to the businesses about all the things that are out there career-wise for them. So those are some of the things we do. We also go to Topeka, Jefferson City, and they meet with their legislators as well.
Let me back up,
Yeah.
because I want to know, what is their reaction after visiting the prison and then the other facility, the detox facility?
The prison day is usually is a real turning point in some of the students' lives, and that comes through in the surveys that we do after every day, as well as at the end of the year. It even comes through in what the parents say about what their students come home and talk about. And for some students, it's just a real wake-up call to what they are doing in their lives, because the prisoners speak real personally with them, one-on-one, and they say, if you're making this choice, this is where you could land. You could be me in a couple of years. And some of the prisoners are not much older than our students. And so they talk about the things that they're doing in their lives at that time, the choices that led them to that place. And the students are always very much affected. We're very much affected by everything the prisoners say. So it always lands real high on the marks in terms of their scores.
And the other, is it a detox center?
Detox center,
okay.
Yes. We have all kinds of addicts speak about their choices and their experience. Some of them are in detox for the first, second, or third time. Some of them have gone through detox several times. And so their message to students is always just don't go there. Just don't make that choice. And the students can make those choices for themselves.
Right. They really can.
Yeah.
Tell me about the alumni who come back after completing the program and what they have learned from it and how they're continuing with what they're doing with 2020.
Well, we're excited about the program reinvesting the alumni reinvesting in 2020. James DeWitt is an alumni. He just assumed the board chair, and he went on to Rockhurst College, got his BS, and he has his MBA. We have, I believe, 4 alumni that serve on the board of directors today, and they also take and participate in the program as well. Facebook and social networking has become huge, and they are driving that piece as well as driving the development of our website, which is www.2020leadership.org.
Wow. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back in just a moment.
My husband, Hank, he taught me to live like there's no tomorrow, and we did it all. European vacations, expensive cars, the best restaurants. Life was great till he died. Now there are no tomorrows for Hank, but they're all I've got, because we never saved a dime.
Thank you, and welcome back to Conversations as we speak with Sally Danoff and Marilyn Alstrom for 2020 Leadership. My next question goes to the 2020 Olympics. Could you please tell us about that project?
Yes, about 3 years ago, our program committee was talking about ways to really promote our program and then to give back to the community. One of the things that we really talk to our students about is giving back and getting involved in their own community. And so the program committee, headed up by Ray Daniels, the former superintendent of Kansas City, Kansas School District, promoted the idea of 2020 Olympics and making it a competition with students. And so students form their own group within their schools, and they come up with some idea that's going to help their school or their community in some way. And so we have what we call 2020 Olympics, and again, students form teams and they compete by coming up with projects. And there are cash prizes, the gold, the silver, and the bronze, and those cash prizes are to go back to their community project. Some of the projects that have been instigated since that time, some real interesting topics like Project Pregnancy with Wyandotte High School. Harmon High School won the gold this past year with what's called the Harmon Hub, where they wanted to develop and improve their soccer and football stadium at Harmon High School. And so those are some of the projects that have come through and have really been affecting their area communities. We've gotten school personnel, community personnel, local officials involved, local businesses, and this year we're expanding the program to where the students will be hooked up with a business in their area, and they can write a business plan, meet with that business, and then develop that plan. It all culminates at the end of the year with a big gathering at Hallmark Cards, where Hallmark sponsors the last day of our program year, where the students present their projects. And they get up on stage at Hallmark Cards, and the judges are from Hallmark, Sprint, United Missouri Bank, and present their project, and then they're judged. And the project winners are announced at our end-of-year honoring ceremony in May.
Wow.
Yeah.
So these students are coming up with these projects that affect them right there in their schools.
Yes.
And figuring out a way to solve it. That's
all student-driven.
That is amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. And the end of the year, you said Hallmark is they actually sponsor the
Yes,
event.
it's very exciting for the students to get to go to Hallmark Cards and present in front of all those business folks.
That is. It's exciting. Let me move to sponsorships. and I know that you have on your website how to sponsor. So tell me who can sponsor and who the sponsors that you already have are.
Well, Robin, anyone can sponsor for $20 a month. That provides sponsorship for a student. It provides transportation, lunch, breakfast, and then the program content. We have some great sponsors that have continued to be our major supporters: Sprint, Board of Public Utilities, Oppenstein Foundation, the R.A. Long Foundation, the Garth Brooks Teammates for Kids Foundation, the State Street Foundation, Hallmark Cards, the Kansas City Royals have taken our 2020 Olympics one more level in order to expand and bring in more and more businesses, so that businesses really actually have a taste of who is coming up to be their future employees, and then also to be able to provide internships for those students as well.
Wow. So as these students go into these businesses, eye-opening experience, I'm sure, but does that give them an idea of where they're going and what they would like to do?
Oh, Robin, I'd like to answer that question,
Okay.
because students from Northeast High School, and I'll pick them as an example. Jeffrey and Stephen were perfect. They're in an urban center of the school, of the metropolitan area, and they don't get out of their neighborhoods often. They both work full-time jobs while they were going to school, and I just talked with one of them, and he wants to be a carpenter. So we are matching them with a business, and he will be in a internship while he goes to the Metropolitan Community College. That's some of the strengths that we are able to do because of the networking piece and the opportunities to make an ask of businesses to expose students what they're learning in the classroom. And our students are coming back, our alumni are coming back, and they're telling us that they have at least 2 years head start on other students because of what they have been learning these past 15 months.
Wow. Now, when I was there at the orientation session, I heard a testimony from a young lady who was going to school, I believe in Arizona, had run into some problems and called you and asked for some assistance and help, and she was amazed because of what you did. And I want you to explain, tell us what that was all about.
Well, Jessica picked up the phone and called and wanted to know if we gave scholarships, and as the conversation developed, she was talking about a Fulbright scholarship, and we don't do that, even though the alumni do give 2 $500 scholarships to a male and female at the end of the year as they graduate from high school. But Jessica wanted, her college had taken away the rest of her scholarship, and she is studying to be an architect, and she couldn't have gone on for the 6 years that it takes to become an architect. And so I sent an email to our board of directors. Well, our board of directors, their knowledge base is so great and grand that they were able to guide her through on the conversation that she needed to have with the college administrators, and the college reinstituted her scholarship. So she is in her final year at her university.
Yeah, she was very thankful for you and the assistance that you provided. Your board of directors, how did you, and Sally, how did you guys decide who you were going to have serve on your board of directors?
Well, first I'm going to say just a few words, and then I'm going to turn it over to Sally, because Sally, when she called to ask to be part of the board, we didn't know that really she wanted to really be a working member of the board, and that is crucial to our organization because we're small, have a small staff. And so Sally led the board of directors for 3 years and really has taken us and grown us. And so Sally, I'm going to turn it over to you and for you to share what you've done this past 3 years in order as you've led our board of directors.
Well, I come from a large corporate situation in my past career, and so what I really wanted to do was try to develop the committees and to try to develop our board into areas of expertise, and those that have some kind of expertise can really help our organization by joining a committee and getting really involved. And we choose our board. We really try to look at the different talents that people have, the different talents that we might need within our organization, and really cast a net out into the community and try to obtain board members that can help us do those things like fundraising, marketing, technology, education, and really having the knowledge base that we need. And we've been really successful because we have some great stories to tell. The students are extremely interesting to people. Everyone wants to help a young student, and everyone knows what it's like to have hopes and dreams and to remember what it's like to be out in the real world and to try to need a little extra help. So it's not difficult to find board members,
Okay.
And the ones that we have
big.
we're so thankful for.
It's a very big board. I've looked on the side that you have. Very impressive.
Yes,
Very
and we also
impressive.
have student board members, I wanted to say. We usually have a representative from each county on our board, and so those students have full voting rights and can come to our board meetings every single month, and they really participate and give our board an idea of what their experience is like in the program.
Now, how are those students selected?
They are selected, sometimes the students kind of elect their representatives, but in the past few years we've been working with seniors that have really kind of worked really hard and that have really shown us that they have succeeded within our program, and so we've been rewarding them by asking them to be on our board.
Let's talk about the scholarships that you give at the end of the year to the one female and one male. Now, how are they selected?
Well, this is another unique piece to our program as well, because the alumni have full responsibility for this, and so they send out the application, and then the students apply, and then they alumni read all of the applications that come through, and they have a scoring chart that helps them on the decisions that they make. And the $500 that the student receives, it can be spent in any way they want, pertaining to maybe it's living cost, maybe it's new tires for their car to get back and forth to college. So there's not a limit on that, which is unique in itself. But that's what the alumni made a decision on their requirements.
How many alumni do you have returning each year after their senior projects?
Well, it's very interesting because I just opened up my email this morning and had an email from Jessica, and Jessica was a very strong leader from Shawnee Mission West, and so she's graduating and she's got a job, but she'll be graduating in December. So every week we get calls, we get maybe an email. Facebook has opened our world to contacts from some of our alumni. Blake, that's going to the University of Nebraska, sent something. And so Blair, we could just name all of the students in the past. And our goal is to re-engage them in our program so that they can impact the current students. And then plus they can take our job one day. That's our ultimate goal, is for us to turn the program over to the alumni that have been part of the program and have grown up within the program.
So when they leave, go to college, do they miss that connection to 2020 leadership? I mean, do you think that that's, the reason for coming back? Because it sounds like a wonderful program. So I'm assuming that they're really missing the connection with the program itself.
Well, it's very interesting. The connection starts when they're juniors in high school. And when we talk about networking, they don't really understand the full concept of the word networking. But one of the students from Ruskin said to us on Tuesday that she met one of the young men that was serving on the panel, Mark from UMKC. She had gone to UMKC for a function, and Mark just happened to be there, and she couldn't believe it. And that's the importance of what the students are learning. And when we teach them the etiquette, when we teach them how to work a room when you don't know anyone in the room, those skills are crucial for students, and that really enhances their comfort when they go away to college. And when they come back, they know how to ask. They use their business card. They collect business cards from businesses throughout the year, and so we work really hard on teaching them, how do do you use your business card? What should you have on your business card? Why is GPA on your card? And why is it important to start thinking about your GPA today as a junior?
Wonderful. Just simply wonderful. This could actually, I don't know if this has come through to you guys, but this could actually be a spinoff, I guess, from the 2020 leadership program to something that the alumni themselves can kind of come together and start. I don't know. It just sounds wonderful. It sounds like everybody is wanting to come back and wanting to still be engaged in the program.
Well, we have one young man that graduated from Schlegel High School, and he started his own organization, 1619. That was the first year that a boat with slaves came to the United States, and he wanted to take and work with young black males in order to give them a head start, give them a supporting hand once they get out of high school. And so filing for his 501c3 is taking lots more time and money than he thought. But we are helping him. We are giving him the helping hand in order for him to get started, because he'll make an impact one day. And he's currently in the studying to be a firefighter and in the academy to be a firefighter in KCK.
Wonderful. I mean, this is great. So when they come in as juniors, I mean, they are just bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and just have no idea what this is going to mean to them in the years to come when they go to college.
That's right, Robin. And they are so immature, they don't know what they don't know. And so that's Sally and my job. We need to make sure that we take time with them, that we listen to them and understand where they're coming from too, and teach them the importance of RSVPing, of monthly attendance. It's very difficult for a junior in high school to complete a 15-month program. So when a student does complete the 15-month program, we know that they've got something within inside themselves. And we always talk about the burning in the belly and what makes them different from someone else. And that's part of what they learn in this program as well.
Sounds great. You want to give our viewers any contact information, the website, your Facebook page, everything. I mean, if you want to just give out this information.
Yeah, our website is, again, 2020leadership.org. We're on Facebook. We have a couple of different sites on Facebook. We have one that is 2020 Leadership Students, which is for our current students, and then we have an alumni page as well. And then Marilyn has a page for supporters and just friends of our organization.
Wow.
And a number that you can call is 816-520-0014.
Okay, and if anyone would like to sponsor a student, please call Sally or Marilyn and let them know how you can help.
That's right, and if you want more information, please go to www.2020leadership.org. Everything's listed on our website.
Well, thank you, ladies, for being with us today. And on behalf of Kansas City, Kansas Community College and media and myself, I wish all these students success in the future. And we look forward to seeing and hearing about these students and what they're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for being with us today. I'm Robin Torres on Conversations, and we'll see you next time.